Okay, guys, really quickly before we do the video, new Queef Jerky song out now, today. Music video out now on all streaming services. I don't care. Check it out. Here's a snippet now. Link in my description to the music video. It's Liver by Queef Jerky. Just look it up. It's really good. Okay, here we go. Ooh, hi guys. Today, I want to talk about something big, something juicy, something that I haven't been comfortable enough to talk about in the past because I've been a little scared. As an independent artist, I feel this pressure to sort of keep my mouth shut whenever these big streaming companies or big record labels, big players in the music industry, these companies, these corporations, do something bad. Because if I say something, then what if I'm done for? What if I'm ruined? What if someone sees and they're like, oh, I know her, let's ruin her? What if I'm never put on an editorial playlist again? What if I'm just completely blacklisted from the algorithm, never put in an algorithmic playlist again? But you know what? I just don't care anymore. I just don't. And I'll talk about why later in the video, but I just feel like it is a really interesting time to be a musician. Sometimes it feels like it's never been a better time to be an independent artist because anyone can have access to uploading their music to platforms that anyone from around the world can hear them. Anyone can be a musician now. You don't have to know someone at a record label. You don't have to get discovered at an open mic bar to get your music put on iTunes. You could be a massive star. And you could have just done it from your bedroom, which is something that I feel like has never been a thing in the music industry before. So in that way, it's really cool because of platforms like Spotify and TikTok and stuff like that. But at other times, it feels like I'm just watching this whole industry just crumble before my eyes. It's like I'm watching all these companies lose sight of what they once were. And there's been a bunch of different platforms that have sort of had these disappointing things come out about them. I mean, Bandcamp has been really flubbing it lately. Really flubbing it. But today I specifically want to talk about Spotify because I'm honestly really disappointed in the evolution of this platform. Spotify started as a solution to the music piracy problem. It started as a way to still make music free for people who want to listen to it for free while still paying the artist. But now, Spotify isn't even a streaming service anymore. It's just a tech company. They don't care about music. It's just ironic, you know? It's like they launched as a solution to musicians getting robbed by piracy. And now they've decided that they're just not going to pay artists anymore if they don't get a certain amount of streams. And the craziest part is the amount of streams that you have to get paid to not be lumped in with those musicians that don't get any money isn't public information. So in this Billboard article about how Spotify is changing how it pays its artists, it says that there's a new threshold of minimum annual streams that a track must meet before it starts to generate royalties. The threshold, according to MBW, will demonetize tracks that had previously received 0.5% of Spotify's royalty pool. Now, this might seem like, oh, well, I mean, it must not be that many streams to begin with, but we don't know how big Spotify's royalty pool is, guys. Think about how much music is on Spotify. Think about how many streams across every single song on Spotify that there is. And the language is kind of confusing because it's like, what is Spotify's royalty pool? Does that mean how many streams in total across literally every song by every artist?
Yeah, like what even is that? Freaking is it like where freaking Ed Sheeran goes to swim a lap or something? Is that where Ed Sheeran goes to swim lap? Is that the YMCA or something? I was trying to make a joke. Spotify royalty pool. What? Is that where Ed Sheeran goes to swim or something? It's not that. It's actually pretty funny. Hey, I'm on a roll today. Hey, that's funny.
So no one really knows what this means. No one knows the extent of how this is going to affect artists. So let me get this straight, guys. You're literally not going to pay an undisclosed amount of musicians. This could be like hundreds of thousands of people. The people who are making the least amount of money off of your music. The people who need the streaming income the most. But you can pay Emma Chamberlain like probably anywhere between $20 to $50 million to make her podcast a Spotify exclusive. And listen, I am by no means an Emma Chamberlain hater. I actually really used to like what I've seen of her podcast before. I followed the Anything Goes Instagram a while ago because the clips of what I did see, I'm not really that much of a podcast person, but the sound bites that I saw, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And I've been following her main account for a while just because I like her style. But what I've noticed about her podcast is literally ever since it became a Spotify exclusive, it's become her trying to tackle these topics that she literally doesn't do any research on. Like, she literally will only go off of her personal research for like any of these topics, say stuff that's wrong, and then contradict herself like 5 times within 20 minutes. And no one is watching these before she puts them up and going, hey, like, maybe we should give you a writer, or like someone that you can sort of outline these episodes with, someone who you can like bounce these ideas off of. Maybe someone like a co-host. Maybe we give you a co-host, someone who you can literally like have a conversation with, so you don't just repeat yourself like 10 times within 30 minutes. It's like a high school student writing an English paper and trying to reach a word minimum. So they're just adding random fluff in there and just repeating themselves like 20 times. And I don't think there's anything wrong with like tackling these big topics and not saying anything groundbreaking about them. I really don't. But it's like the tone she takes when she says these things is as if she's like trying to teach you something. It's as if she's saying something way more profound than she actually is, when in reality, she's just like asking if everything is real. It's like, what is taste? First, let's define like taste. And now, is that real? Hey, is that real? I don't chase, I attract. How about, well, first we have to define I. Then we have to define chase. Okay, now we have to define attract. And is this even real? You know, people say like a soulmate. Some people think like soulmates, it's like, it's great. I love that I have a soulmate out there. I can't wait to meet him. Some people go, oh God, I'm so scared if I don't have a soulmate. I know there's someone out there for me, but what if I never find them? And I'm over here like, I'm kind of in the middle. But first let's ask ourselves, hey, is the soulmate real? It's like, dude, 50 million. Guarantee you, she's got like maybe even 100 million, tens of millions of dollars. I guarantee you, we're paid to this person to talk about nonsense. When, dude, you're not gonna pay the musicians, you're gonna pay her $50 million or something like that to talk about nothing, to just embarrass herself. But you are going to pay musicians nothing. Joe Rogan, $100 million for his podcast to literally spread misinformation about COVID. Are we joking? And I feel like, honestly, I could go on about the Emma podcast for like an hour. I could go on about her episode about what good taste is for like an hour by itself. But I don't really feel like I have anything to add to that hasn't already been said like a million billion times. But I just bring it up because it's like, guys, they have so much money. So much money. So much money. Why do they need to cut corners like this? Like, there's nothing else that they could have done. If they are so worried about saving money, like, they shouldn't have been so reckless with the launch of Spotify Live. That would have saved them millions, I bet. And another reason that I have been hesitant to talk about this is because Spotify has also, as an independent artist and as a content creator, they have done a lot for me personally that I am so beyond grateful for. I've gotten playlisted in these editorial playlists, and it has helped with streams, and it has helped with people finding my music and checking out my other stuff. They brought me literally like probably the coolest opportunity I've ever had. I got to host this live show when they still had the Spotify Live app, where I could interview artists that were on the Lorem playlist. And that was such an unforgettable experience that I am so forever grateful for, because I got to talk to some of my favorite artists. But in the same vein, even with the Spotify Live app, that concept of having live radio on Spotify, live podcasts, live shows, whatever, live interviews, like how Apple Music has a Zane Lowe show, how Clubhouse was a thing in early 2020. I feel like this demand for live content has gone up because radio has died down. No one wants to pay for radio, but if you already have Spotify, it would be kind of cool to tune into something random that's like going on. Like I genuinely think that concept had so much potential to be such an incredible addition to the platform, but the rollout was so rushed and disorganized when it seriously didn't have to be, that I feel like Spotify just shot itself in the foot with it. And I worked with so many incredible people when I was a part of this opportunity that were so smart, had great ideas on how to take this app to the next level. But it was just like the higher ups at this company didn't care about what the app actually needed and hired all of these incredible people to get this app running, to get this app integrated into the Spotify app, just to completely just cancel the app, just to be like, oh, we're going to cancel all the shows. Maybe we'll keep the app running. I don't even know if the app is still up anymore. And it's like, I don't know what happened to most of these people who were hired to work on this app. People who had such great ideas on how to make it successful, but didn't actually have the power to get these things greenlit. Like, I don't know how many of them got laid off. I don't know how many of them still have a job at Spotify. But it's like, not just that. I mean, they've had so many layoffs this year. They laid off 200 workers in the podcast division. Just this year alone, Spotify laid off like 6% of their entire workforce. But for what? For what? It's just so disappointing to me as someone who has seen both sides. I've been a part of the content creation, the sort of podcasty section of Spotify, the tech company side of Spotify, and I've experienced it as an independent musician. It's like, what the hell? What the hell? And it's a shame because I think there are a lot of incredible things about Spotify and how its algorithm works. I think that Spotify's algorithm has done wonders in introducing my music to so many different people who wouldn't have found it otherwise. My music has been discovered in playlists. It's been discovered in algorithmic and editorial playlists. I've had the opportunity again to host this show with Spotify Live, which was just an incredible opportunity. It introduced me to so many amazing people that work at Spotify and just so many incredible artists that I got to receive such like valuable advice from firsthand. Like, there are so many things that Spotify has done for me personally that I feel like have been incredibly instrumental in my career, and I'm so beyond grateful for. But that's just me. You also look at the breakdown of the royalties you get from Spotify versus like all the other streaming services, and Spotify like always has the highest number. And you could look at that and be like, oh, well, it's because they're showing their music to the most people. It's because their algorithm is the best for music discovery. But in reality, it's because they have like the most users. But Spotify has like way more users than literally any other streaming service out there because they have the free option, because you can sign up for Spotify with a free account and opt in to pay. So that's also why they pay some of the least amount of money out of all these other streaming services, because a stream from a person who has a free account who's getting ads is worth like half of what a stream from someone who's paying a monthly subscription is worth. So Apple Music is going to pay more because you have to pay for Apple Music. No one's using Apple Music for free. Why are the people who the company was made to protect, made to pay in the first place, suffering? And again, like, as an artist, there's this weird pressure to not talk about these things because you don't want to be on Spotify's bad side. You don't want to be on the big labels' bad side. You don't want to be on the business side's bad side. Because what if they don't add you to playlists anymore? What if they completely blacklist you from the algorithm? What if they ruin your account? What if they shadow ban you on TikTok? You know what I mean? But at this point, guys, like, I think that, yeah, playlisting is such an incredible tool. It can really help put your music in front of people. It can get you a lot more streams than you would just organically or just by advertising it to your fan base. Algorithmic playlists too. Those are great. Like Discover Weekly. I've found so many artists I love through Discover Weekly. I found one of my favorite songwriters, Genevieve Stokes, from New Music Friday. There are so many artists that I have found from these playlists that I grew to love. But it's like, this isn't the only way to get streams. This isn't the only way to get recognition. I think, if anything, there are actually more effective ways to put your music in front of people. I personally feel the most fulfilled I've ever felt as an independent artist by making this long form content, because it makes me feel like I can connect with my fans in a deeper way than just like shouting my music into the void and like, oh, Oh, it's got on a playlist. That's my big break. That looks really good for me. Oh, it's on TikTok. I got like 1 million views. That's great. And it is great. These things are great. They're great tools to help you get more streams. But in terms of building like a dedicated fan base that will come to your shows, that will like look out for things you do, I just feel like once I started like really going hard on YouTube, it's paid off the most, more than like any of these things have paid off. It's a weird thing because I think more musicians should be long form content creators. It's like, if you want to be a musician, you want to be a musician. A lot of musicians don't even want to be on TikTok, let alone make a YouTube video, like talking. No. And that is so 100% valid. You didn't sign up to be a content creator. You just want to make music and play it for people. But I think in today's music industry, like if you want to truly thrive and build like an organically growing, but also like stable, sort of long lasting career, no record label, no playlisting, no TikTok campaign, at least now, maybe very, very small amount of TikTok campaigns, I feel like, are going to be as successful as if you make more long form content, especially on YouTube, like talking about these things. I don't make money off music. I'm fortunate enough that I make money off YouTube so I can live comfortably and have the bandwidth and time and energy to make music. And I'm very privileged in that sense. I'm very blessed in that sense. And I know it's not just that easy to be like, oh, okay, I'm a musician, I'm just going to be a YouTuber now too. Like, it's not that easy. And it's taken me years of making content, short form and long form, to get to where I am now. Even after having to completely start over from what I had built and start from zero. It's taken me a while to get this comfortable in front of the camera. And it's seriously not that easy to just do. But I do think long form content, like if you feel like that is something that you're interested in as a musician, I seriously think you should try it. Talk about what you think about the music industry. We can have more of a talk about it, and we can think of other ways to not have to rely on these companies that don't even want to pay us in the first place to get our music heard, hoping maybe we'll get enough streams that they'll pay us anything. It's ridiculous, guys. I'm done. I'm so done. I don't care. Don't care. So that's what I think. Speaking of Queef Jerky, guys, new Queef Jerky song out tonight. Literally today, yesterday night. Tonight, it's out. Liver, Queef Jerky, our best song yet. I really like it. I'm really proud of it. Really like this song. Put a link to the YouTube video in the description. It's out on all streaming services. We made a music video. We finished it yesterday, put it out yesterday. I don't care. We don't do anything by the rules because we just don't care, and it works. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. What do you think about all of this? What the hell do you think about all this? I'm really just over here yapping at this point. We're over here like, God, this one loves to yap. This one's just like Yapperton City. Someone put a muzzle on this one. Someone put a muzzle on this one. You know, I think about myself like that sometimes. Sometimes I just talk, and then I think, you know what? Sometimes I even just say it. I'm like, guys, if you think that I should just stop talking, like, you could tell me. If you like this video, give it a like. Please, like, let's talk about it in the comments. Like, what do you think the future of an independent artist is? Like, what do you think is in store for the music industry? How can we make money? I don't know. What's next? We got to figure something out. We got to think of something. We got to think of something with this. You shouldn't have to be a YouTuber to make money as a musician. You should just be able to make money. Because, like, you can't do streaming. Not going to pay you now. Bandcamp, down the toilet. Touring, that's funny. You can, but it takes a lot of hard work and a lot of losing money to get to a point where you're making money. Merch, most of the venues take a cut of the merch. How do you make money? I don't know. Oh, but it's music. Oh, you shouldn't make money off music. Like, your job is easy. Guys, imagine a world with no music. That's all I have to say. Just imagine a world with no music. We'd all be miserable. Miserable. As humans, we need music. Like, our brains are wired to, like, fully light up when music plays in ways that literally no other thing makes the brain light up. So think about that. Think about that. Oh, we don't have to pay you. Oh, okay. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. This is like the third time I said thank you. Whatever. I'm done talking now. I'm just going to keep yapping if someone doesn't cut me off. So have a great weekend, and I'll see you again in a couple days. Bye.